Hello and welcome back to the special series, and I'm before you, Kamal Lohia is my name. We are here with another question, and this question is based on time and work, and again another topic of arithmetic. And as always, I'm just getting aside, and I'm going to count 5 on the reverse scale, and that is your time that you are to take a screenshot or pause your video, whatever way you wish. But you are supposed to solve the question on your own first, and after that we shall solve it together. Fine? And your time starts now. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go. I'm here back. So let's solve it together now. So it says A is 20% more efficient than B. Now, sometimes students get confused in the simple part. What is the meaning of that more efficient? It's very simple thing that in same duration of time, that person is able to do 20% more task or more work, right? In comparison to this person B, right? Okay, so let me write. So their efficiencies or their work, or basically work in same unit of time, let's say 1 day, right? So 1 day work I can say. So A, B and C. So let me compare the 1 day work, which is basically their rate of work. Also we can use the term sometimes we use the word efficiency, right? These are all same things. So basically 1 day work, how much work they are able to do in 1 day. So we are just comparing. We don't know the exact amount of work they are doing in 1 day, but we are just comparing, so we can give numbers for that, no issues. Okay, so A is 20% more efficient than B. तो B से ज्यादा काम कर रहा है 20%, and B is 25% more efficient than C. So we should start assuming certain number for 1 day work for C, isn't it? And remember, what work should we take? What value should we assume? Sometimes students are confused in that part also. Sir, number क्यों मानने X मान लेते हैं? भाई X अपना क्या लगता है, right? So when we are going to assume something, to assume in such a way that it makes our calculations easier. That is our whole objective, right? So 25% मुझे increase करना है B की value को C के comparison में. तो C की value should be in such a way which is multiple of 4. From where this 4 comes into picture? Now this is important part here. 25% का मतलब होता है 1 by 4. You know that? Yes, all of you know that. 25% means 1/4 of something, and same way 20% means 1/5 of something, isn't it? So if I need to make B as 1/4 more efficient than C, so if 1 day work of C is multiple of 4, so the increment in B's work would be an integral amount, right? So for the simplest, smallest numbers, let me check 1 day work for C to be 4 units, right? That's we are assuming, right? We are assuming, let's say C does 4 units of work every day, right? So what about B then? So B is doing 25% more. 25% more of this means it would be 5, right? 25% more means 1 extra, 1 more than this, right? 1/4 of 4 is 1. So 1 more than 4, that makes it 5. So 1 day work for B comes out to be 5 units. I hope it is very clear. Going by the same logic, now A works 20% more than B on daily basis. So 20% means 1/5. So 1/5 of 5 is again 1. So 1 more than this, that means A's 1 day work comes out to be 6 units. Fine, very simple. Let's move further. Okay, so this was till this point. Now further it says A, B and C start the work together. तीनों ने साथ में ही काम स्टार्ट किया है, बढ़िया. But B and C leave in between. B और C बीच में भाग गए, है ना? भाग लिए. तो भाग लिए. It means A must have done work for the longest duration of time, and B and C must have done the work for less duration of time. Okay, let's see. So A works 20% more days than B. Okay, so for how many days they are working, that has also been mentioned in that same percentage terms. Let me write for that. So how many days they are working? So A, B and C, and number of days worked. Let me write number of days worked, right? So again, actual number of days is not given, so that also we need to assume. So now I cannot give certain numbers. I need to take variables now. So but we will use variables along with numbers only. We want to take the benefit of numbers, of course. So A works 20% more days than B. So whatever number of days B has worked, so A has done work for 20% more days. 20%, remember, that was 1/5. And now B works 25% more days than C. That means C is working for smallest number of days, and the numbers are again same. 25% was 1/4. So I'm going by the same numbers. So if C is working for 4n number of days, and now this time I'm using a variable as well, right? So because I can't say exactly they are working for 4 days, I assumed per day work also, I assumed the total days also. So what is the question then? We are creating our own question then, right? So we need to go by the situation. So that's why I'm using variable here, but along with the numbers. So let's say C worked for 4n number of days. So certainly B has worked for 25% more days. So 25% or 1/4 of this is n more days. So 4n plus n would be 5n, right? Exactly same way as you did earlier. Same way we are going to get that A worked for 6n number of days. I hope it is very clear. ठीक है ना? अरे समझ में आ रहा है, right? Okay. So this is number of days they have worked, and the rate of work we already knew, right? So the rate of work we already know. So can you calculate the total work which they have performed in that duration? So A has worked for 6n number of days. So let me write work done, right? Work done by these persons. So A has worked for 6n number of days, and on daily basis he is working 6 units work. So total how much work has been done by this person A? So 6n into 6, that is 36n. So that is the total work done by A. Same way total work done by B would be 5n into 5, which is 25n. Right? Exactly same way total work done by person C would be 4n, for 4n days, every day he has worked 4 units. So total work done by C would be 16n. So what is the total work then? Because work is getting completed now, right? So A works 20% more days than B, and B works 25% more days than C, and the work is of course completed. So what is the total work? So we are getting from here by adding them. So 6 plus 5 11, and 6 17 ka 7, 1 carry, 1 and 3 4, 4 and 2 6, and 1 7. So 77n is the total work, right? 77n is the total work. Okay, so we have done till this point. Let's see further. It says if A and B together can complete the same work in 21 days. Okay, now this is some extra information, other information. So based on this, we are going to find something. Let's see. Now it clearly says that which color I'm going to use now? I'm going to use blue. So if A and B work together, if A and B together can complete the same work in 21 days. So we know that A and B are completing 6 units and 5 units daily. So A and B work together. So their rate of work, their combined rate of work becomes 6 plus 5. 6 plus 5, that is 11 units per day, right? So it is mentioned that they complete the same work in 21 days. That means total work would be obtained by multiplying this 11 with 21, right? That must be the total work. And we have just figured out what is the total work. It is 77n, right? So let's equate the two. Let's equate that to this is 77n. So from here we can easily calculate this value of n, which we had taken as variable here. So it comes out to be 11 times 21 divided by 77. I'm not multiplying it. Why? Because we need to cancel it. All right. So 11 7s are 77 and 7 3s are 21. The value of n comes out to be 3. So we got the exact number of days for which they have worked, right? So this n comes out to be 3, and we can put these values. But let me see what is the question. Question is says then find the number of days B works more than C. Okay, so this was some intermediate information based on which we are able to determine that what is actually happening in this task right now, where A and B and C have worked for different number of days with their regular efficiency. And now question is asking that find the number of days B works more than C. So B has worked for 5n number of days and C has worked for 4n number of days. So how many days, for how many extra days B has worked in comparison to C? That is a question, and it is clearly visible. So we are to find out 5n minus 4n, right? Which is basically nothing but n, and that we have already figured out. It is 3, isn't it? So this is simply 3. So that is the required answer. Fine. Thank you very much.